using Bitcoin. And the moment that he made that transaction, Bitcoin received a tangible value. It instantly went up to a full 8 cents per Bitcoin, and the rest is history. It has been growing phenomenally since then. So to wrap all of that up again, Bitcoin is a digital currency that operates on a technology called blockchain, and essentially it allows us to make peer-to-peer transactions of currency without a bank, without a PayPal, without any type of exchange system in between. I can send money from my phone to your phone, and there is no one in the middle of that, and that's absolutely phenomenal. It is decentralized. It's not run by a government or any particular entity. So if someone said they wanted to shut down Bitcoin, there is no address to show up and try to shut Bitcoin down. So when we talk about full independence, like Legacy Internet Radio, this is full independence. It is decentralized, and that is how Bitcoin works. So with that being said, that is my brief explanation of what Bitcoin is. Keep in mind there are lots of other cryptocurrencies, is what they're generally called. I don't refer to all of them as currencies because a lot of them don't operate like currencies, and they really don't behave like currencies. I think they're more assets. So you'll hear terms like Ethereum, which is more of a transaction protocol, smart contracts and things like that. You'll hear about Ripple and just so many others, and they all have different things that they do. Generally, they solve some type of problem on this blockchain technology, and as they come out, a lot of times they kind of behave like stocks, so people are investing in them. So just to kind of fill you in on the whole cryptocurrency thing, that's it, but the granddaddy of them all is Bitcoin, and most people probably on this call right now have heard about it in the news, particularly over the last week or two. Bitcoin surpassed $10,000 in value. It even got as high as about 18,000 and some change at one point, which was totally phenomenal. And I continue to hear people say we've missed out because it has hit that high level. When you really do the research, the experts that were talking about this, even just earlier in the year, truly believe that within the next 5 to 10 years, one Bitcoin could be valued between $500,000 and $1 million. So no one has missed out. We haven't missed out. We're really on the front end of a global phenomenon, and I'm just really excited about it. So that's kind of what we're talking about today. That is the gist of kind of what we're involved in. Back in June, I started my firm called 889 Exchange, and that was set up for me to network with brothers like Marcus and people in my inner circle to be able to not only capitalize off of Bitcoin, but surrounding revenue opportunities around it. So, I don't know if anybody knows, but there are literally 2 Bitcoin ATMs in the city of Richmond. One of them, the one that I have gone to, is over on Mountain Road. And, it's just amazing. You can go to this ATM, you can put money in, and it will deposit Bitcoin into your Bitcoin wallet on your phone in a matter of minutes. And vice versa, if you have Bitcoin in your wallet, you can go there, do a transaction, it'll spit you out cash. So, Bitcoin ATMs is happening. This is a real thing. Lots of different exchanges and things like that. So I want to be involved in some of those. I am preparing to start placing some Bitcoin ATMs probably here in the next 3 months or so. So 889 Exchange is really all about bringing some people together and being able to capitalize on the various opportunities of this market. But the big thing that really has caught fire and what a lot of us have gotten involved in is a company called USI Tech. This company is out of Dubai, and the company, in my opinion, is just literally amazing. They've done just some powerful things in the last year. Just recently in October, the last weekend of October, they celebrated their 1-year anniversary operating in this format. And in that 1 year, this company has generated over $500 million in 1 year. So I just thought that was amazing. While they were there, they recognized a lot of the people that were participating in this particular opportunity, and they've also created 18 millionaires in 2017 alone. So doing some phenomenal things with the company. So primarily what they do is the company started off as a foreign exchange platform. They created a software that would literally allow you to invest in foreign exchange on autopilot. So you could put some money in and run with this program. It would look at the highs and lows and the various transactions that were going on, the dollar against the yen, against the euro, and on autopilot, it would move your money, make the various transactions, and they were producing about 4 to 5% in returns per month utilizing this Forex software, which was, again, amazing by itself. In April of this year, they released a new product that we refer to as a Btc package or a Bitcoin package. And essentially what happens with this package is we can invest $60 for one Btc package. And what they do with that is they invest that money in their mining operations, which I'll get more into that later because they're about to be the largest global mining operation in the world. They also do what's called arbitrage trading, and they institute the foreign exchange model that they were using with Bitcoin as well. So they're trading Bitcoin against the dollar, Bitcoin against the yen, Bitcoin against the euro. In all of these things that they're making money with, they pay us 1% per business day for 140 days on every package. So for instance, if I spend $60 on one of these packages, on day one, the company will pay me 60 cents, 1% of that $60. And they will pay me 60 cents every business day for 140 days until I have back $84. So essentially I'm earning 40% on my investment in this Bitcoin package. The beauty of this though is, unlike a traditional investment method like a CD, to where you buy a CD, it's for 6 months, and you come back at the end of 6 months and you can get your investment plus whatever interest you've earned. This particular package is paying out daily, and they allow for a compounding effect to actually be a part of what you're doing. So when I've earned another $60, I can then buy a second package. And so now, whereas I was earning 60 cents a day, I'm earning $1.20 a day. And then when I get enough to buy a third package, I'm then earning $1.80 a day. So there's a compounding effect that's going on. The more packages you have, the more payout you get. The more payout you get, the more your actual account balance is earning and increasing. So that's kind of how this works. It's a lot more to it than that, and I'm kind of going to wait until we start to get questions and things like that to really kind of delve into how it works. But again, there are Bitcoin packages to where you can start for as little as $60 for your investment, particularly for people that are saying, Bitcoin's $15,000 right now. I don't have $15,000 to invest. That is perfectly fine. The beauty about this product for me is that it's not subject to the volatility of the Bitcoin market. So even when Bitcoin goes up and then comes down in a day's time frame, you're still earning the same 60 cents no matter what Bitcoin is doing. The only variable is how much your 60 cents is worth in Bitcoin after you earn it. But you're still always getting that 60 cents. You're still always earning the 40% on your investment. So with that being said, I'm going to get Mara to help me out here. I have on my...
Oh.
Yeah.
Do we have a chance to pause for a second?
Sure, absolutely. Let's do that.
I'm Mara. I'm speaking for the jocks. Because I know exercise, but I don't know technology and marketing and markets. So for some people who are out there right now wondering, okay, what is Bitcoin? Kind of, we see that this is going to be like the future money, right?
Sure.
And so what you're saying is right now to get into the stock market is really expensive for most people, or is the Bitcoin on the stock market right now, or is it on its own internet currency market? Is that what you're saying?
It's the latter. So the Bitcoin is not on our traditional stock market, but it is on its own exchange. And so we'll always see the price of Bitcoin, how it fluctuates and things like that. Joe, you want to answer that?
Well, no, I just want to ask a quick question. I mean, noticing what you're saying, since they are on its own individual base, how is our government regulating? And that's the only thing. Being a banker,
Yeah.
My process thinking is I know stock market. I'm skeptical of Bitcoin. Not that I'm skeptical to the point of the validity of what it's going to do, but how is it going to potentially be taxed? How is it going to potentially invest? And how is the government going to take it over later on once they figure out how much we're doing?
Yeah, and I mean, that's a very valid question. And those answers I don't necessarily have because they don't have them yet. If you watch, just about every government in the world is trying to figure out how they can control cryptocurrency, particularly Bitcoin. You'll see stories coming out about people trying to do different things. So at this point, again, it was designed to be decentralized, and so it is totally unregulated, which clearly does not make our government or anybody else's government happy if they can't get their cut. So,
which is also the reason why you have a lot of banking people who are, and not a shot at Joe, but he speaks for them. You have a lot of people in the banking industry that are skeptical and downright feisty and angry about this because it's dipping into their pockets.
Absolutely.
And then the other thing is you've got certain countries around the world, South Korea being one. From my research, they're looking at 30 to 50% of their economy right now is moving to cryptocurrency. So this ain't going nowhere.
Absolutely.
I just got a hit from somebody that was looking at the Facebook Live that said, that the bubble is coming and that the money has already been made and it's a scam. So I want you to address that, Broderick, because I'm sure there are people who are listening right now for the sole purpose of punching holes in this.
Sure. Sure. I saw someone yesterday, I think, on your Facebook page that had said that, this thing is a scam, don't get involved or something along those lines. Oh, they said no bank would ever back this. It was interesting because there's an article out where Bank of America is offering an exchange for Bitcoin. So that statement wasn't true because banks are getting ready to back it. In fact, part of the reason for the most recent surge has to do with a lot of banks and brokerage firms, investment firms. Joe and I, we were just talking about CME and CBOE, both are large firms on Wall Street. They are releasing Bitcoin futures. One of them, I believe, is releasing tomorrow on the 10th, even though it's a Sunday, so that may be the 11th.
It's going to be the...
What does futures mean for the folks who are not familiar with that term? Break it down in as simple terms as possible.
Actually, I'm going to defer that one to Joe.
Futures are investments that are going to proliferate later.
Okay.
Futures, I mean, there are a lot of different types of futures. You look at, if you've ever watched, it was an Eddie Murphy movie with
Trading Places.
Trading Places.
Yep.
If you notice when
Broderick and I have a lot of fun talking about that movie.
Particularly
Yeah, exactly.
But if you notice when they talk about with futures, they talk about pork bellies, or they talk about corn, or they talk about things, substantial things that we need as people to survive.
Right.
And the way they diversify later on is called futures.
Okay.
And go ahead, Marcus.
Well, one of the things that the folks that are listening to the conference call right now, and thank you guys for being in there and listening, and thank you to the folks that are here in studio with us and the folks on Facebook Live. But one of the things that many of the folks who are here are curious about is how can I get involved in this? We spend a lot of time kind of giving the education and what it means and all of that kind of stuff. And I think we've kind of gotten to the heart of that, and we will take questions for those folks who have them later on. But one of the things that I've been saying to people ever since I've come along to understand how this works is for the investment that is being asked for, USI, Tech, is $60. And you have people who are not interested in throwing away, and I'm air quoting that, throwing away $60. And the phrase that I've been using is, you're going to trick that off at the bar. You're going to trick that off trying to meet a lady. You're going to trick that off buying hair weave. I mean, whatever it is that you do, you're going to trick off. Okay. I try to address everybody with that. I don't know what weave costs.
It's a good investment.
Well, then you'll trick that off getting your nails. But anyway, the point is, $60 is really nothing when you can end up making some money. And once you see the money that you're making off of that $60 that one time, because you only have to actually come out of your own pocket one time,
Yeah.
$60, and then the rest, that if you continue to purchase packages,
Yes.
you're likely going to be purchasing these packages from the proceeds that you've made off of that $60, unless you see that benefit and you're like, you know what, here's another 60, or here's another 120, or here's another 2, or whatever it is you decide to do.
Absolutely.
And so, Broderick, I want, in the limited time that we have left, because we told folks that this would be about 30 minutes or so, and if, like I said, if you're on the conference call and you want to stay, we'll stay here as long as you want. But for those folks who committed to 30 minutes, who only have 30 minutes, let's talk about how you can get involved, how you can get that $60 in, and how you can start seeing your own benefit.
Okay, very good. So to get involved, essentially all you have to do is to register with USI Tech. USI Tech, another benefit is that registration is absolutely free. So it doesn't cost anything to actually register with USI Tech. Whoever has invited you to this call, or whoever you know that's in USI Tech, get with them. They can send you a link to get enrolled, and that's fairly simple. The whole process takes maybe 2 minutes.
The good thing with that is many of those folks that are on the call and many of those folks that are watching on Facebook Live either are friends of mine on Facebook or can be. And if you're friends of mine on Facebook or you're a friend of one of the Legacy Internet Radio pages, the link is on all of those pages.
Yeah.
And so all you have to do is go to my personal page or go to the Legacy Internet Radio page, the Ain't No Half Stepping with Marcus J page, or any of the other pages that you saw this on, or you knew how to get to this conference call. Just go back to that page and you'll see the link and you can do what Broderick just said.
Absolutely. So, you click on the link, it'll ask you for your name, your email address, and a password. Click submit, and you're registered. They're going to send you a confirmation email to verify that that is your email address. You are, in fact, registering. Once you get the email, you verify that, and it will take you to the account to set up a profile, basic name, address, those types of things. And at that point, you are a registered member of USI Tech. Now, once you're inside of USI Tech, if you're prepared to do so, the first thing you're going to want to do is to buy a package. In order to operate in the cryptocurrency space, you need what's called crypto wallets, or a Bitcoin wallet specifically for what we're talking about. The 2 Bitcoin wallets that I personally recommend, but by no means are you required to use them, there are tons of them out there. I generally recommend Coinbase, which is very user-friendly for new people. And inside of Coinbase, it also has an exchange. So you can use your credit card to exchange cash for Bitcoin and make your purchases.
Yeah.
One of the Joe likes that.
I like
One of the second wallets that I use is called Blockchain Wallet. And I use that one because it's a little bit more secure. It's a traditional Bitcoin wallet. But the only thing it will do is allow you to either send or receive Bitcoin. You can't exchange money or cash inside of it or anything like that. So where you want to start is probably with Coinbase. It will allow you to move $60, $70 from your bank account and purchase that much in Bitcoin. And then that's when you can go on USI Tech to purchase your first pack, your first BTC package, and you will use that wallet to pay for the package inside USI Tech. I will tell you this, on my website, which is 889 Exchange, that's 889EXCHANGE.com. If you go to the top right tab where it says more, and there's a drop down that will say BitStart, BITSTART. I've developed a 5-step tutorial that will walk you through all of this from the moment you register with USI Tech. So the first video will take you through setting up your profile, getting your account set up. The second page will have videos on the 2 wallets that I mentioned, and there are links for you to review other wallets if you want some other choices. The third video will actually walk you through step by step how to make that purchase of the Bitcoin package on USI Tech. The 4th video actually talks about how to get plugged into some of people like us that are actually involved in this space. Facebook pages, my own YouTube channel, things like that. And then the 5th actual module is about being able to refer other people. So the piece that we kind of haven't gotten to yet is, in addition to purchasing these packages, to where you can earn on those packs each and every day, as well as compound them. You can also refer other people. They have an affiliate referral program. And so just like I shared this with Marcus J, he came on and decided he wanted to buy Bitcoin packages. When he spends $60 to buy a Bitcoin package, USI Tech is going to pay me a $10 commission off of his package, okay? A lot of people, the first thing everybody's going to ask is this multi-level marketing? Is this a pyramid scheme? Actually, it is not. It is called an affiliate referral program. As far as I'm concerned, you don't have to sell this thing. Basically, what I do is show people, hey, this is what I'm doing. This is how it's worked for me. And someone's going to ask me, hey, how do I get involved? And so essentially, I'm referring them to the system that I'm using. So again, there is a referral piece that allows you to make additional money by referring other people into the program. And you can refer as many people as you want to. They can refer other people, and you continue to make percentages. It does not affect their money. The company actually pays you percentages or commissions for referring other people.
Quick question. I know you said you set it up to work through you. Can we also, as people, once we get that Bitcoin currency, set it up to branch out so it's set up for us? Like you have your own personal company, quote unquote, pretty much. You have your own personal company.
Yes.
Now, if Marcus J has his own, can Big Bro Joe do his own?
Yes, absolutely.
That's why we're here. That's the essence of what we're doing. That's an outstanding question, Joe, because everybody has an opportunity to either, like Broderick said, either just buy their own package and keep it moving, or they can encourage other folks to buy their own packages and try to kind of branch out on multi-levels to get multi-people to do
How
it.
do you get credit for referring? Do you have to set up your own website, or when they sign up for their own Bitcoin package, are they going to put your name in as referred by?
They don't have to do anything. That's a really good question. So what we were talking about earlier when Marcus was saying, hey, my link is on the Facebook page. Once you sign up, you will get, and I'll show you since you're sitting here, you will get a link.
That's customized for you.
Customized for you.
Okay.
And so when I say
you don't even have to do anything.
you don't have to do anything.
You buy your own packages, and then once you get your package, you get a link for yourself, and then it kind of works for yourself. So you really don't even have to go out and do any really hard promoting, which makes it different from multi-level marketing, you know.
See, this is why I've been hanging with you for so long, because you get stuff quickly. Look, so I mean, it's a link, and so Marcus put it on his Facebook page, Joe put it on his Facebook page. You click on the link, and the people are automatically coming into your system. It's a done deal. You don't have to do anything else. Unlike, as you mentioned, unlike multi-level marketing, there are no meetings you have to go to. There are no products you have to buy. There's no phone calls you have to do. Basically, you just refer people to this link, and then they do what they do.
And you're also getting the service. So let me break it down again from what I know. It's like you sign up for a gym, and then we ask you to refer a friend. You still get the gym experience, but you also get like a free month, you know, for signing someone up. So that's what makes this not multi-level marketing. Is you're getting the service no matter what, but if you refer people, it's like an extra bonus.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so what I will say is, so let me put this out there. Or you need something?
Hold tight. We got a question from somebody that's listening to us. What's your name and what's your question?
Hey, what's up? This I came. Quick question. So I have you can only do the what is it? It's not USI Tech. You have to buy that package with Bitcoins. You can't buy that with cash or credit card or whatever.
Exactly. Yes, it has to be with Bitcoin. Just about everything in this space is with Bitcoin. And that's just kind of how it works when you get into the digital currency space. So you can use Coinbase to convert your cash to Bitcoin, and then that will allow you to be able to make purchases however you want to do that.
All right. Okay, so I got a follow-up question.
Okay.
So I get in with my $60. Let's say the price of Bitcoin is $500.
Okay.
So I buy $60 worth of Bitcoin at the value of $500. Let's say for some reason it skyrockets up to $5,000 and it increases 10 times in value. I'm still only getting 60 cents back a day?
Yes, so that's a very good question. So when you spend $60, you are not buying Bitcoin, okay? You are buying a package.
Well, I'm buying a package with Bitcoin. I paid
You are paying
So
for
I
it with
paid
Bitcoin.
$500 worth of Bitcoin, but now it's worth $5,000, but I still only earned 60 cents on my investment.
Correct. But here's the thing. 60 cents of Bitcoin at $5,000 is totally different than 60 cents of Bitcoin at $15,000. See what I mean? So what comes into play is the variable. So whereas when I had $100 of Bitcoin that had been paid out to me before and Bitcoin was worth $5,000, then when it went to $15,000, my value of what I got paid back increased by 3. Does that make sense?
No, sorry.
Okay.
All right, let me do this. Yo, what's going
No,
on?
okay, I'm just saying, why wouldn't I hold on? You know, if the price, we're talking about the potential of Bitcoin. If I buy it at $500, why would I give it to someone else who's only going to pay me 60 cents a day if, you know, the potential is so great that the value's going to go up 10 times? Why wouldn't I just keep that and pocket all that 900% profit for myself?
But watch this. Okay, hey, what's up, bro? This is your boy, Big Bro Joe. Listen, this is what I did the other day. A week ago, when I reached into this, or 2 weeks ago now, when I reached into this, I purchased into Coinbase, and what I did was I didn't actually invest into the segments at first because I wanted to come back to the meeting because I was like you, I was a little skeptical. So what I did was I put the money into the Coinbase app where I bought the first Coinbase initial base package, put my $60 in, and right now it was reading as of airing of the show right now, it was reading at about $79. So think about it like a week ago, what I did was when I bought into the initial investment, it was $57 because it was fees in that, and I didn't realize that at the time, but you got to pay attention. Now, from 57 to 67 to 77 to now 79, I'm $23 up in what I was doing in Coinbase. And then now, today, I'm actually going to take that $60 investment that I initially did and buy into what Broderick was talking to now.
Right. So, but let me go a little bit further to specifically answer his question. What this system is a Bitcoin multiplier. Okay. So I'm going to get Mara to help me out because I have my account open on my laptop. On July 13th, I invested $1,200 to buy 20 Bitcoin packages. Okay, let's let everybody kind of get up close on here. To buy 20 Bitcoin packages. Okay, today I have 185 packages, and that's been just under 5 months since I did that. Okay, so what you'll see here is that my lifetime grand total of my earnings is 1.6272 Bitcoin.
And Bitcoin right now is...
Well,
So how do you cash out? Do they pay you back in Bitcoins or is it dollars?
they pay you back in Bitcoin, and the same system you used with Coinbase to turn cash into Bitcoin, you can use to turn Bitcoin back to cash. But let me finish that statement for you. So that 1.6272 Bitcoin, if I go to a converter and type in 1.6272 Bitcoin.
Get that one out of there.
Oh, okay. Okay, so 1.6272 Bitcoin is now worth $23,663 off my original $1,200. $1,200 would not have bought me a full Bitcoin, but as you can see from my account, I have now earned a little bit over 1.5 Bitcoin. So this is a Bitcoin multiplier. While you could, and you're very right, you can't just put the money in and let it ride, but this is actually compounding for you to take a small amount of money for Bitcoin and turn it into a much larger return. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah, I understand you. I'm sorry, ma'am. So essentially, you're lending them your Bitcoin.
You're what now?
Essentially, it sounds like you're just lending them your Bitcoin.
Yeah, I guess you could look at it that way. You're allowing, just like when you put your money in the bank and the bank uses it to do
The
other
bank
things.
uses
So.
your money to make money off of it.
Sure. The good part about this, though, is it's very consistent. There are tons of companies out there like this. Some of them will promise you that we can double your money in 60 days and pay you 4 to 5% per day. This is 1% per day, which is very conservative, but it's also very consistent. And at the end of the day, you're earning 40% on your money, which I don't know. And you help me out, Joe. I don't know any place else you're going to find an investment like that in traditional market.
No, in traditional markets right now, especially if you look at going into a CD, you're only earning 0.17 or 0.175% right now on initial investments on CDs, money markets, and things of that. It's crazy. I mean, I'm a banker. I do this every day, all day. So
can I ask a question? This is Terry McCorkle.
sure.
Could you explain what the tax implication would be if you're able to earn all of this money using Bitcoin? Does it count as personal income? Is it taxable income? How does it apply? Help me understand that.
Okay.
I'm still trying to get to. I'm trying to get to the hard, I guess, paper money, monetary value understanding of it.
Right.
But what would the tax implication be?
So again, this is one of those things that governments are working very hard towards. At this moment, Bitcoin itself is not taxable. What I think is going to happen.
Sorry. Hello?
Yes.
Sorry to cut you off, but legally you should report it as investment income.
Right.
Okay.
Legally you should. And the government has asked Coinbase to turn over their database of all U.S. investors. So eventually you probably can look forward to the IRS coming after you at some time in the future.
Actually, if I can finish that statement, in the form of if you have Bitcoin in a wallet, it is not taxable in that format. And yes, the government has asked Coinbase. They've asked them for about 14,000 account holders that range from about 2012 to 2015, but in no means have they asked them for all of those. So, but my point with that was just to simply say, at this point, they are working on being able to regulate this, being able to tax it. What we generally think is going to happen is that the government is going to treat Bitcoin.
Can you guys put your phones on mute, because someone's got a lot of feedback in there, and when you're ready to speak again, you can take it off, but for now, put it on mute. Go ahead, Brian.
Okay, so the government is probably going to treat Bitcoin as property and treat it as capital gains tax. So if you put $1,000 in and you get $3,000 out, when you convert that Bitcoin back to cash, you're probably going to be taxed as capital gains on the $2,000 profit that you made. So again, I don't want to mislead you. Those things are coming. My statement was that as of this moment, they are not in effect for you to be taxed on Bitcoin that you possess in a wallet right now.
So maybe here's how you need to think about this right now. Maybe right now we are on the precipice of future currency, and you have a chance to get into something new early. You might not, now is not the time to be thinking about changing it back into money, but right now it might be the time to make the investment for the future, because you want this to grow. This is not going to be something that you're going to be doing daily transactions from right now, because you want this to grow. And in the future, when you have accumulated a lot, you'll be ready when the government has figured out what they're going to do. Absolutely. And you might be sitting at a chance to have a lot of money in a wallet, that when it comes time to figure out how we're going to use this money on the if we're even still going to have the U.S. dollar by then,
sure.
You have a chance to just make something of a legacy for yourself in an investment in savings. So that might be what this is more about versus pulling your money out and figuring out what to do right now.
Totally agree. And that's the point I was going to make. Whoever that is that's on the conference call line, I need you to put your phone on mute, because we can hear all kinds of feedback coming back from you. But like Mara just said, I mean, basically the tax implications are not something that's here now. And I think that we would be wise to get in, quite frankly, make some money, and get out before it becomes an issue. Because when it does become an issue, like everything else, then you'll have other things to deal with. It doesn't mean that it'll be something that won't still be worth doing later on once those tax implications come to fruition. But as of right now, while they're not there, especially on a small scale, I think that we would be wise, especially those folks who play the lottery, especially those folks that go to Vegas, especially those folks that go to Atlantic City, got the new one up in Maryland or down in Maryland, depending on where you are. If you're someone who is basically, quite frankly, looking to invest in a way where you can turn some coin into coin, this might be for you. If it's a situation where you're skeptical, if this is a situation where you think that it's going to be a problem later on, then it's probably not for you.
Absolutely. And here's my other thing. I'm just going to throw this out there before Joe speaks, but I want to know what it's like to be taxed as a millionaire.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
You know what I mean? So if I got a couple of million and the government want their cut and it ends up being 30% of that, that's fine, because that 70% is still going to look good to me. I don't have that now. So, while I understand everyone has a concern about tax implications and things like that, the wealth that we can tap into at this point and the way that we can utilize it to change our lives and our families' lives far outweighs that potential that may come down the road.
I'm glad you made that point, because think of it like this. People in our age bracket right now didn't think about 401k plans in the same way that we're thinking about. Think about a 401k plan and Bitcoin in the same manner. 30 years ago, when we thought about 401k plans and being as a certified investor, being as a person who works with currency every day, you have to look at it like, if you go to buy a house, there are certain regulations that you get. You don't have to pay back or pay taxes on the monies that you have in your 401k plan if you're buying a house. You remove that money, it does not get taxed, and things go forward. So the same things that you're looking at that predecess Bitcoin, potentially, not saying that they are, because this is not just US, this is global. And being in the room and understanding the fact that the homework being done, that since it's global and the European market is very, very stringent on Bitcoin right now, it's their new wave of the future. Yeah. We spoke about North Korea. We spoke to Europe itself. We're talking about Switzerland. We're talking about things that are going down right now where islands, and how people wash their money, quote unquote. Not saying that that's what we do, but just understand the logic behind what's going on.
Somebody needs to put the mute on their phone. I don't want to have to disconnect someone, but I need you guys to put mute on their phone because we can hear all this background. So if you're listening, if you're on the conference call line, we need you to put your phones on mute. Everybody needs to do that right now, please. Thank you. Go ahead, Joe.
All right. So I'm saying, just make the point that all investments have certain risks. Right now, if you're at the beginning and you're at the forefront and you're at the head, the risks are minimal to you. Right now, what we're doing is we're trying to give everybody that opportunity to solidify an investment opportunity to make sure that not only your family is taken care of or you are taken care of, but we're looking at generations to come. And before those things are blindsided and cut off, we want to make sure that we are taking care of those things.
So just like to go back to how easy it is to get started. So we know that this is an investment. I don't think a lot of young people like myself, I'm in my 30s, we don't really understand like what 401ks are and things like that. It has never really been taught to us in school and how to really invest and what investments do. I think that's why Bitcoin is a little bit of a hard idea for people to grasp, because you're saying internet currency and I'm thinking like we in Star Trek mode right now. So what this is, but what it sounds to me is that right now overseas we have a whole new way of transactions going on, and they need the money in the form of Bitcoins, and we need to invest our own currency so that the newest transactions over there are being tested with this company in Dubai. They are using what we are investing in to do their business transactions. And because they are using our money to do their business transactions, they are giving back to us as if we are a part of their company.
Absolutely.
And so right now, getting that 40% on the return on our investment to help their company grow, you can also sign up someone for $10. I want to make $10. That's cool. And you keep it in this Bitcoin wallet, and it will continue to grow and invest. And then once we get to wherever the future is going to take us with our government, you may be potentially sitting on a chance to be a millionaire without doing much at all.
Absolutely.
So I think this is an awesome opportunity.
Yes.
And you don't have to do anything complicated right now because it's not regulated with the government. So everything is happening with the tax bill right now, and everything that's happening with senators changing the regulation and the Fed, we don't even have to worry about those things that go along with your 401k. So you have more opportunity to do
And I'm glad you brought that point up before she speaks. I just wanted to mention that one of the things that so many of us here in this country have a hard time adapting to are things outside of our country. So the first thing we think about is the United States and how things work in the United States. This is a global currency. And in fact, a lot of the other cryptocurrencies that come out when they release ICOs and things like that from other countries, they don't even allow U.S. citizens to participate in them. So, you know, it's a global thing that we're involved in. It's not just the United States. And so we have to think a little bit larger about the concept in and of itself.
Well, the question on the floor is, and I'm in insurance, so this is neat. Coming from the world of 401k, where I have the capability of controlling my 401k and my investments, whether or not I want to do, you know, just something mild and you know, just be conservative, or if I want to be volatile, okay? I'm able to go in and I'm able to, you know, assign beneficiaries to my money in the event that something happens to me. Is Bitcoin set up the same way, to where in the event something happens to me, can I transfer my Bitcoin to a family member or to a beneficiary?
Yes, it is totally transferable, and generally the way that it works is, you know, if you want someone to be able to have access to that, then you just give them access to your wallet as well, to make it easy. Or it is willable also, but the easier process is, you know, I know for my son and my wife, they both know what my account is. So if anything ever happened to me, that money in that wallet would just be transferred over to them.
So something like, say, for example, like my Discover card, I can have one of my children as an authorized user on my Discover card.
Absolutely.
So something like that.
Absolutely.
So if I want them to be an authorized user, I just give them my link, my log on, my password, and tell them, hey, this is what this is.
That was the best example right there.
Okay.
You're absolutely right.
That's
Cool.
outstanding. You're listening to...
I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Hawk.
Yeah, I have a question. Kind of piggybacks off of that. My bad. Is that Dub?
Yes, sir.
All right, Dub, you jump in.
502, baby, all day, every day.
Okay.
But let me. So let's say a hacker steals my wallet. Am I insured by USI Tech for that loss or whatever?
I'm sorry, can you say that again? If you lost your wallet?
If a hacker came in and stole your coin, are you out of luck?
Yes. Yeah, I mean...
That's the risk you take.
Yeah, it's matter of fact, one of the guys that I work with out of DC, and he'll be here with us in Richmond in January, talked with him a couple of weeks ago, and he lost about $80,000 in Ripple, and he just got hacked. That is one of the downsides.
Is there anything in place to avoid that?
It involves security. So, you know, we can get into maybe another segment of security. One of the things I just purchased is called a Bitcoin hard wallet. It looks like a USB drive, and I can literally plug it into my laptop, download those funds onto this hard drive, and take it completely offline.
Yep.
That's one of the safest ways to be able to protect your assets in this space, because anything that you do online is subject to hackers.
One of the things that I can say to address that for you, Hakeem and Terry, and Dub, I want you to ask your question after I'm finished here. One of the things that I have done just for me, and I'm literally 3-4 weeks in, you know, Brod's 6 months in, I'm 3-4 weeks in. But when I spoke with Broderick about that hard, it looks like a flash drive. It literally looks like a flash drive, and you will transfer your coin to this particular drive. That way it's not online. As long as you don't physically lose it, then you don't lose or you can't get hacked. Another way that you can secure yourself is you have a wallet that is specifically to your physical computer as opposed to it being online. So that when you transfer your coin to that, it is specifically only on your hard computer. So if you're not online, then
Once the ISP address.
there's no way that you can actually get to it. But like with everything, hold on, let me finish. Like with everything, there is the possibility that somebody could steal your wallet. Somebody could pickpocket you and steal your wallet out of your back pocket. Absolutely. So it's a similar concept. So Terry and Hakeem, you guys have asked questions. Let's get somebody new in here. Kashara, are you there? Go ahead.
Sorry. I think you guys misunderstood me. I'm talking about someone hacks USI Tech's database.
What
Right.
security does USI Tech have on their investors? Do we have something like that? I think that's what he's asking.
Yes,
Exactly.
USI Tech does have insurance against that. One of the things they did in October when they came was the leaders of this company, the owners of this company, were very transparent. They went through the financials, which is kind of how we knew that they had made about $500 million in the last year. They also showed their cash reserves, and in that cash reserves, they talked about that very thing, to protect if anything ever happened to this system, that they had enough in cash reserves to pay all affiliates for at least 12 months. So yes, there is a degree of protection involved with that as well.
Okay. Dub, you had a question?
Yeah. In regards to diversifying, in the future, right now we've talked about Ethereum, we've talked about Litecoin, talked about Bitcoin. There's other coin, I would say, cryptocurrencies that are out there. Some may be, gaining interest as time goes along. Is there a way, or has there been any discussion in regards to adding additional cryptocurrency to your particular, portfolio?
As far as USI Tech is concerned?
As far as USI Tech is concerned, correct?
Yes, there are discussions. So, in fact, we haven't gotten as far along in some of the things with that as I would have liked, but USI Tech has other products as well. The first of the year, they will be releasing a Forex package that actually acts just like the Bitcoin package. It's the same $60 model. It's the same 140 days. However, this package deals with fiat money. So for people that are still skeptical about digital currency, there will be a way to have the same type of investment dealing with dollars and yen and euros and those types of things. So that's one product that they have. The second product that they already have on board is USI Tech is releasing their own coin called the Tech Coin. And I won't get too far into that for the sake of time, but it revolves around a technology that decreases the largest expense for mining, which is electricity. And essentially what they're doing is they now have the capability to convert the heat from those very servers that are doing the mining back into electricity. That's a game changer in the mining industry. We can purchase those tokens as USI Tech affiliates right now before they are released to the public. So there are a number of products that they have come out with already. There are more in the future. So again, the company is very diverse, and that's one of the things that I like about it, because there are different ways for you to be able to capitalize off of the things that they do.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, go ahead.
This is Terry again. So it sounds like, and correct me if I'm wrong, it sounds like that Bitcoin, or the concept of it, is investing into other companies. I would like to know, how are the companies vetted? Like what happens if I take my $60 and I invest in Bitcoin, and then I find out that Bitcoin may be doing business with another business that isn't so legit? Like, I've read some things about Bitcoin being involved with not so legitimate businesses.
Well, let me.
How am I protected?
Let me address that in the simplest of terms before I let Mara jump in here. The United States dollar may not be utilized for the greatest of purposes. You have to get out of the mindset of thinking of Bitcoin as a company. What it is currency. The easiest way to think of it is money.
Even if it's currency, even if all I have to invest is $60,
Right.
and then I find out that I'm profiting off of the $60 because of some unsavory business, where is my protection?
Okay, I think you're thinking about this a little bit the wrong way. Ma'am, I forgot your name. I'm so sorry. This is Mara. So
It's
what you
Terry.
need? Oh, Terry.
Hi, Mara.
Okay,
My name's Terry.
Hey, Terry. So here's what you have to think. You're not. Bitcoin is not the business that you're investing in. Bitcoin is you're purchasing a currency that USI Tech is the business using that currency. Okay.
Okay.
And so you're probably
basically,
asking what is USI Tech involved in, and they're involved in mining and arbitrage trading,
and foreign exchange.
And they are a company that is overseas doing business. So when you're thinking about what that Bitcoin that you're purchasing is doing, is handling the day-to-day transactions that USI Tech needs to run, and they are profiting off of their.
Wait. Let her finish.
Let me ask the question.
Uh-huh.
Let me ask a question. And let me go ahead and preface this by saying that I did work for Morgan Stanley for about 9-10 years. But the questions that I'm asking from the novice investor standpoint, because everybody doesn't understand all of the terminology that you're using. Everybody on this call may understand, but not for nothing, I'm trying to dummy it down.
We got you.
I understand.
We got you.
And I appreciate that.
Hold tight.
And I would appreciate
Hold
if
tight,
you would let
Terry.
me finish my question.
Okay, hold tight. I think we got it. And
That would be great
Okay,
if you would let me just finish my question.
Hold tight, Terry. Hold tight. In the limited time that we have left, we're going to take the question as we have it. We're going to try to address it because I hear another voice in there that is also trying to get a question in. And we've had a few people that have asked some questions. We want to give everybody an opportunity to get their question in. So as quickly and as concisely as you can finish your question, as quickly and as concisely, do that. We'll address it. Then we'll get the next person in. Go.
If I were to spend $60 and not another dollar, what do I have the potential to make? That's actually only one question, but I couldn't get the rest of my questions in,
Okay.
but I'll go ahead and throw that one in there just for time.
So
If the only thing that I could spend was $60
We got you.
right now as a novice investor,
so
what is the potential for earnings?
We got you.
Okay, so again, as we stated earlier in the show, if you invest $60 for one Bitcoin package, the company will pay you 1% per business day for 140 days. So at the end of 140 days, your $60 will now be $84. You will have earned 40% on your money. The variable to that is at the end of the 140 days, how much is the Bitcoin that you have been paid out in, the $84 of Bitcoin, how much is that worth on the market? Does that answer your question?
No.
So how about we start from the beginning? So since we're running out of time.
No, don't, because we're under.
Well, I meant more of, let's start as me being a brand new person coming into, and what steps I'm going through. So I met Roderick today, okay, and he's told me about USI Tech. And I want to purchase an investment package, which is a Bitcoin, for $60. So I go through Roderick's link, and now he's earning $10 from me. I sign up and I get a package. Okay, I invest my $60, and
I'm not talking about signing. I'm not talking about signing anybody up. I'm talking about if I just wanted to invest based on this conversation, not signing anybody up, not doing anything else. Is it I would only earn 1% for 140 days?
Yes, ma'am.
And the only way that I can earn any more money is if I continue to sign people up?
No, you would, so $60 would earn you $84 in 140 days. If you wanted to earn more money, you would buy another package for $60. But to point blank answer the question, your $60 would earn you $84 at the end of 140 days, if that's all you did.
Which is more than double what you started with. There was another there was someone else in there that was trying to get a question.
And what is the tax implication on that?
Okay, ask and answer. We're going to have to stop you there, Terry. Next person who was asking a question, there was a gentleman in there. What's your name? And
That
what's your
was
question?
me.
Okay, who's that? What's
That
your
was
name?
me, Steven.
Okay, go ahead.
This is me, Steven Sykes. I wanted to jump in and answer the level on the security thing just to help people out. There's a level of 256. There's a level of brute force encryption protection for a bunch of different nodes that does the mining. So they're on a rotating backslash basis. But yes, you can be hacked, but this is where on your systems, you make sure on your computers that you do not have other things access to that computer, your software that has also unlimited access that helps protect you for that, especially if you are on a separate router, not using the router that comes from your cable company that's also tied to your computer's MAC address. Those are some of the things that can help offer a level of security. And the last thing real quickly, to answer the lady's question about vetting and other things, just like I may put my money in with Wells Fargo may do business with somebody else that I may not like. Do I pull my money out with that? You're looking at it as a liquid asset within a bank for your question. There is no bank with it.
If a company that I'm investing in is dealing with people or other companies that I'm not supportive of, then I have the option to pull my money out.
Yep.
I'm
Right, so this
Bitcoin have that option.
And you also
Bitcoin is the currency is not is Bitcoin is the currency is not USI Tech and all the other companies are that. That's where you can go to those companies and look at whatever you want, but they all deal with liquid. Like the glass of water that may be 8 ounces is 8 ounces here in the US and whatever other country across the world. It's the same without losing anything. And that's what the Bitcoin is. But it's up to you to go ahead and you can look at USI Tech or any other company, just like you look up any other bank and find out whatever you want from them and make your decision. If you're not comfortable with it, that's fine. No one's hurting regarding that.
That's the bottom line. Yeah, thank you, Mr. LP. That's the bottom line. We're going to get ready to start moving towards a close. And if there's anybody who has not spoken yet that has any questions that you want to ask of Broderick or anybody on the panel before we move to a close, now would be the time. I'll give you 10 seconds to speak up. If you are listening and have not asked a question, now's the time. I'll give you 10 seconds to jump in.
This is Darrell Taylor. I do have a question. I know you said you started your own company, the 889 Exchange. Is it a way through this that we can hook up with you or hook up with some other investment groups to be able to diversify our entire cryptocurrency or Bitcoin portfolio?
Absolutely. There are a lot of groups here. A few months back, I started a meetup. It was called 804 Bitcoin, and met a lot of interesting people from different facets of the space. So yeah, you can always tie into other groups, other currencies, even companies like we've been talking about USI Tech. But again, there are a number of companies like this. USI Tech is not the only one. It is just the one that I have found the most success with, the one that I have found to be the most consistent. And so that's why we were talking about that today. But to answer your question, yes, there are lots of other things you can get involved with, lots of other groups you can get involved with. So, the space is wide open. And again, there's a lot of money to be made. Like with anything, my first statement is do your own research. Don't take my word for it. Don't take Marcus's word for it. Do your own research and find what makes you comfortable and what fits your interest.
All right. Anybody else? 10 seconds.
Follow-up question one more time.
Go for it.
Roderick, is all your information on the website where I can contact you and reach out to you just to have some one-on-one sit-down conversation?
Yeah, on 889 Exchange, I think there is a contact page on there that should have some of my information on there. Contact us, and you'll see my email address as well as my phone number and fax number.
Cool, thank you.
Hey, Darrell, where you were listening, I think I put the link there. Did you see the link?
I was on the phone and I went to because I needed to get a question in. I went to the live feed,
okay.
So I did not get back on the live feed just as yet. But I have set throughout the call, I've set my my wallet up, so I'm kind of ready.
Okay, the live feed is there, so you can go back and look there, and then the same location where you went to find the information on actually doing this call will have the invitation where you can jump in that way, and then of course you can get with Broderick and myself, and we'll assist you. All right, anybody else who has not had an opportunity to say anything, you got 10 seconds, go.
Yes, I have a question. This is Lathorel.
Hey, go for it.
So after that 140 days and I have $84, do I now get 1% of that $84?
You do not. So again, when we started off, I mentioned that it behaves a little bit like a CD. So the 140 days is kind of like the maturity date or expiration date. So again, you can take advantage of the compounding effect, or you can just take your 40% on your money and run. It's totally up to you, and you have complete control over it as to how you want to continue to invest.
I have a question.
So what happens if you just let it sit there?
What happens? What?
What happens if you just let it sit?
Funny story. We were just talking about this earlier. I bought my son one Bitcoin package back in June for $60. Since then, the package has matured, so it's no longer earning the 1% per day. But at the end, when he looked in his account, this was 2 days ago, it's now worth, because of the rise of Bitcoin, it's now worth like $637. So you can just let it sit there in the account. You can pull it out. You can take the money you've made and buy another package. Again, it's totally up to you.
That was what my next question was going to be, and I knew the answer, but it was for the folks listening. So at the end of that 60-day period, you can choose, because I think a lot of people...
140 days.
140 days, I'm sorry. I think where a lot of folks are getting caught up is they're thinking nefarious things, one. They're thinking... because they're used to American currency, they're having a difficult time translating different currency. And so they're thinking scam, they're thinking all kinds of stuff. And that's fine, it's understandable. But and they're also thinking, do I have to sell this to people to get them to be a part of it? I made the choice to share this with folks because I personally see the benefit of it, because I've seen it work for others and I've seen it work for myself. So I made the personal choice to share this with folks. You don't have to share it. You can invest your $60 and walk away and not do anything again. And then at the end, you got at least an additional $84 that you know of that you're going to have at least that amount. But in your son's case...
Well, before you finish that, I want to piggyback on it just a second. As a matter of fact, when you register, it won't even allow you to refer people. You have to click on a button to make a decision
to do it, yeah,
to be an affiliate.
Absolutely.
So this is not sucking you into a multi-level marketing thing, but if you see the benefit of doing that, you have that option.
I'm glad you made that point, because I saw that option and I almost missed it, because when you sign up, you're not automatically signing other folks up. You can choose to not do that. I chose to do it because I want to help folks. That's just what I do. But financially, it's going to benefit me as well, because it just will. But if you just leave it in there and you don't do anything, and your investment of $60 in June is worth $600 in December, and you say, take my ball and run, I don't know too many people who wouldn't take their ball and run in that case, or reinvest all but that $60, because all you ever did was put in $60. So if you invest $540 at that point, what have you lost?
Yeah.
You've lost nothing.
And as a matter of fact, and again, for the sake of time, we've kind of run out, but I mentioned that I started off, my first major investment and my only major investment was $1,200. This month, I pulled out $1,800. So I got my money back plus 50% on it. And now, as far as I'm concerned, I'm playing with house money.
Right.
So if it all just went downhill,
you're good.
I'm still good. I'm saying, look, I made $600, I'm good. But here's the other thing, and I've shared this with you. When I look at the trajectory of where my account is right now, in July of 2018, I will literally have the ability to be earning the same thing I make at my job. And so at that point, one of our buddies likes to use the term job optional. That's where I'm trying to get to. But think about that. When you can have something that's paying you the equivalent of what you're earning on your job, and for everybody, that number is different. But when you have that ability, you can make a lot different decisions in your life. You know what I mean? And so that's kind of what excites me and what makes me share it with other people.
Well, first of all, let me just thank everybody who has taken the time to be on the call. Spirited debate, a lot of information given. Ultimately, you have to make a personal decision for yourself and your family if it's something that you're interested in doing based upon your own research, because I would implore anybody to continue doing research. Don't just take Broderick and yours truly and Mara and Joe and everybody who's in the physical room, and Hakeem and Terry and everybody who's asked questions on the line here. Don't just take our opinions on it. Do your own research. Think about what is good for you. For me, I spent $60 at the bar Wednesday. Like literally, I was at the bar and I got something to eat and I drank. And I bought a beer for my homie who was sitting next to me, and my bill was like $63, and it's gone. And I'm never going to see it again. I'm never going to see it again. It's gone forever. And this is an opportunity to take that $60, compound it, and at the bare minimum, after 140 days, I'm gonna have double that amount. So you can just make a decision to be a part of it, or you can decide not to. That's for you all to decide. We wanted to present the information to everybody out there because Bitcoin right now is the hot ticket, and a lot of the research that I've done personally tells me that while some would say that we're nearing a bubble, others are saying that we're at the tip of the iceberg, that we ain't seen nothing yet. And like I just said, if you can trick off $60 at the bar, I think I'm gonna try this $60 and see where it goes from here.
Hey, real quick, speaking of buying people drinks,
I'm in.
I bought you a drink the other night.
And you bought it with what?
And how did I pay for it?
You paid for it in Bitcoin.
I paid for it in Bitcoin.
You
We
bought
drink top
Bitcoin.
shelf, baby.
You bought Bitcoin. All right, so last thing. Nope. Because we need to go. And so if there's anybody who has not spoken that's on the conference call line that you want to, jump in. If not, those folks who've already spoken, unfortunately, I will have to cut you off. But if you have not spoken, you're on the conference call line, you want to get in, now's your opportunity. Otherwise, we're getting ready to end the call. Anybody got 10 seconds to speak up?
Hi, this is Nick. Thank y'all for the information. I will be doing some research. Marcus, thank you again. Big Joe, and everybody who I don't know the name, but I know you. I want to say thank you for allowing me to be in this conference call. And I will be talking to y'all soon. Thank you.
You got it. Anybody else? 10 seconds.
Thank you. I'm in.
All right, everybody. Thank you for...
I got one more. This is Steven Sykes. This coming Tuesday, Alito Pizza, Willow Lawn, 7:30. We got another information session regarding this. You can come on out. We'd love to have you.
Thank you for the shameless plug, Steven. All right, we appreciate everybody who has been on the call. Very special thank you to our brother Broderick for sharing his information with us. If you have missed this, any portion of this, it's being recorded. So I will be airing it on the air on Ain't No Half Step on Marcus J on Monday. And I'll also make it available for those folks who want to get it in other ways. If you know me personally, just reach out to me. I'll make sure you have access to it. But we will air this conference call on my show, the flagship show of Legacy Internet Radio, Ain't No Half Step with Marcus J, Monday night at 7 p.m. So that show will be all about cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. And really, at the end, you got a choice. You either want to be down or you don't. If you're scared, then be scared and don't get down. But if you want to take a chance, we're all here to help guide you through it. So for Broderick and for the crew on the line and for the crew in the studio, this is Marcus J. Thank you for being a part of the conference call. We out. Peace.
To stop this session is no longer being recorded.
All right, y'all. That's it. Appreciate y'all. Y'all be cool. Peace.
Thanks.
Sound like you've been doing this for a minute.
That was some
Doing
crazy.
what?
That's
You feel me though?
I do.
Legacy Internet Radio. Come aboard.